Start it off with one of these adjectives.
Okay, so we're going to bring it back in and see what examples you all have. So, who wants to share their example? Come on, I heard a lot of good discussion going on. I know you all have good examples.
Did you have one in the back? Did you have a good example that you'd want to share?
So we just decided on Superwoman.
So they decided to do Superwoman. Awesome.
We said powerful. She's she's powerful and with a strong sense of justice.
Awesome. So they used the words powerful, strong sense of justice. So that's a great way to start preparing your professional summary, is to come up with those key words that really identify who you are as a person. And then from there, kind of turning that into an actual statement. So that's great. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Does anyone else have any that they'd like to share? It can just even be the words that you came up with to describe a person. Absolutely.
We did Barack Obama.
Barack Obama,
And
okay.
we said proven confident leader with seniority in politics and public speaking.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was awesome. Did everyone hear that one? Awesome. Great job. Yeah, did any of you guys want some candy? No one wants candy?
I'll have a candy.
So let's hear one more before we move on.
Yeah. Wow, that was really, I don't know if I'll be able to repeat that. They did Beyonce. Can you say it one more time louder?
Yeah, multi-talented performer with experience with live presentations, public speaking, and dancing.
Wow, that was really well written. Great job. Good job, everyone. Hopefully that got you kind of started thinking about how you can prepare your own professional summary. So next is education. As students in a university, this is our best selling point while we're still students. So it should definitely come right after that professional summary. And you want to include your university, so NC State University, you would write it out as North Carolina State University. Include the location and your graduation date or expected graduation date. And then underneath that, you would include your BA or your BS, and then what your major would be. So mine would be a BS in business administration, and you can include your concentration. So with a concentration in marketing, you can also include any minors, study abroad trips that you've done, any research projects or works that you've done while you're in school, and any relevant coursework. So as you get into your junior and senior year, you'll probably start to be involved in those more core classes that have to do with your major, and you can include those if that's relevant and helpful for the position you're applying for, just dependent upon how much room you have on your resume.
After that comes experience. Now, in your experiences, the way you list your experiences you should include your employer, the name of your employer, before that, your position or role, your name of employer, as I say, dates, location, and list out briefly what are some of the details from the things that you've done in that experience. And make sure to organize your experiences in a reverse chronological order, so they appear relevant and new. And when you list your experiences, one of the things that I get asked about most is how can I talk or how can I write about a menial, redundant work like washing dishes if I work in a restaurant. My answer is that always ask yourself why you did it and what's the reason behind it. So as an example, let's say I wash dishes working in Chick-fil-A, everyone's favorite, right? Okay, so I wash dishes, okay? The reason I wash dishes in Chick-fil-A is to maintain the cleanliness of the place, okay? And the reason I wanted to maintain the cleanliness of the plate, not only because my boss said so, and not only, and obviously, to get paid, but also to keep and maintain a healthy environment for the customers to come back. Well, at the end of the day, these customers will generate the profits that get you your salary and your pay at the end of the month. So I'll construct a detail in my experience as that says cooperated. If I did wash dishes with someone else, I would say cooperated to maintain a healthy environment for the restaurant, to maximize outcome, to please customers, and all that. And always use action verbs and quantify where possible. If I know and I can ask my boss, I can even estimate or guess if I don't know an actual exact number. If I don't know how many customers are there per week or per day, I can ask, I can estimate. I'm sure now, as an example, that's just the top of my head, I'm sure that here in front of me is more than 30 people. Okay. Would you agree or not? And that's a humble exaggeration that I only have 30 people in here. I did this, and I do this twice a semester, and I've been here as a CA for 3 semesters. I love it. You should join, and that's off topic. But for three semesters, and if I multiply 30 by 6, yeah. I'm sorry, my math is probably slow. Although I'm an engineer, I don't know how I do it. Anyway, so 6 by 3 would be 18. And if we add everything, it would be more than 180 people I presented with. So I can say, as an example, that I presented, I did workshops with teams, with a team of 2, in front of more than 170 people. Does that sound good? Does that sound fancy? It's much better than saying that I presented about resumes and about LinkedIn and career fairs and all that. So that's an example.
And so with experience comes transferable skills. Let's say you don't have a lot of experience or relevant experience to the job you're applying for, but you do have a lot of experience. This is where transferable skills can come in. So it's unrelated experience should highlight transferable skills such as communication, time management, and customer service. And not everything you did on the job should be listed. You should really only list accomplishments rather than job duties. So as an example, like Musab, kind of like his, I worked at Goodberry's, as you all know. It was a fast-paced work environment. I had a diverse team, so I could say collaborated with a diverse team in a collaborated with a diverse team in a fast-paced work environment with a concentration on workplace safety. That sounds amazing, and I'm not lying. So yeah, I could definitely add that on my resume. Another thing is I also cleaned a lot of dishes, and while I was there, the sanitation score actually went up. So I could say worked in a fast-paced work environment with a concentration in workplace sanitation. And things like that are transferable. It shows that you collaborated, you can work at fast-paced environments, and that you care about cleanliness, and what company doesn't care about cleanliness? So before we move on, are there any more questions? Or let me rephrase that, because I know there are. What questions do you have?
So those transferable skills go again with the core competencies that Ford was talking about earlier. These are the things when you look at the job application, what is the company looking for? A lot of the skills aren't specifically related to the job itself. They're those skills like leadership and communication. So that's the skills that you want to try and highlight the best way that you can. Those can be from volunteer experiences, group projects that you've had, really any relevant experience. All you have to do is kind of find those skills that are most important and what the employer is looking for, and then add those in. So I applied for a marketing position. I didn't really have any marketing experience, but I did work at the food bank and I did work at a chocolate boutique. So I was able to talk about my communication with others and working as a leader at the chocolate boutique and finding those ways to highlight those skills so that you can get your first industry-related position.
Yes, what's your question?
So what would be named that section? Unrelated experience?
That can still go under your experience section. You can still include it the same way you would. You can put them in that situation rather than reverse chronological order, which is most recent at the top. You can include your most relevant at the top. So if you have one that's more relevant than the rest, but it's maybe a year old, that can still go at the top if that's more relevant. So it can still go underneath those experience sections. Great question. Any other questions?
All right. Great. So have a say in what you see. You will see a bunch of resumes, all resume sections, and we want you to see if it's good or bad. If it's good, thumbs up. If it's bad, thumbs down. And let's start with this. So what do you think?
So relevant experience, it says senior commercial loan underwriter, September 2005 to present. Losta Bucks Trust, St. Louis, Missouri.